Wonderful, wonderful.
And
Alicia, can you hear me?
I can, and we are live on Facebook.
We are.
Yes, welcome everyone. I want to thank you. I want to acknowledge you for supporting Kai Hayes today and the book launch of Lion at Heart. Yes, Lion at Heart, discovering the courage and greatness within. And Kai is truly an exemplary leader. And we were just sharing before we went live what she means to all of us, from being a servant leader to being focused out on others, being a big sister, a believer, inspiring, a big heart. And today we get to celebrate Kai. And as we celebrate Kai, what she has created is she's created a book to support everyone in their journey to greatness, in their journey to celebrating the courage within. And so I'm very excited to introduce Kai shortly. A little bit about myself. My name is Alicia Dunhams, and I am the founder and CEO of Bestseller in a Weekend and the Book Funnel. For over 15 years, I've supported people in writing books, nonfiction books. Part of that process is supporting people in really expressing their true leadership. And as we see in Kai, part of servant leadership is giving, writing a book, sharing the lessons learned in life. And so it has been a great pleasure to be able to support and facilitate Kai in this journey of essentially giving birth to a book in this process, and sharing her lessons of life, the ups and downs. And with that, it's been such a pleasure. And everyone who purchases her book today will be receiving a gift from the heart, a gift that you can learn and support in your own leadership. And so it's been, again, such a pleasure to work with you, Kai. I'm so proud of you. And I just see from everyone who's arrived here today and all of your friends and family and loved ones on LinkedIn that you truly make an impact. And part of being a leader, part of being a servant leader is creating an impact in others so they indeed go out and impact the world. Welcome, Kai.
Thank you, Alicia. And I just wanted to let you know, girl, that we have bonded together as a friend. I found myself a new genuine friend working with you for about more than 6 months, I believe. And it is such a wonderful journey writing a book. It was a little tedious, but I did enjoy it, especially with you and all your crew. So thank you very much. My goodness, I am so blessed to have you as my book coach, my book mentor, my guide. So everybody, please drop number 1 to thank our lovely co-host, Alicia Dunhams, tonight. So I am so excited for you, Alicia, for kicking off my amazing book launch party. So everybody, cheers. Cheers for me. All right. Cheers. Mabuhay. Kampai. Salute. Did you raise up your glasses? Everybody? Okay, welcome everyone to our most awaited VIP book launch party. I am Kai Hayes, the author of Lion at Heart, Discovering Courage and Greatness Within. Leadership, personal and spiritual growth book. I am deeply honored that you all joined me today to celebrate my publishing of my book, Lion at Heart. Woo, I'm getting emotional. You are all important to me, so please accept my sincere gratitude for being here. You know, some of you even waited for an hour just to, join me in this VIP book launch party. So I thank you, all of you. Thank you for honoring my book, and thank you for being here with me. This could not have been a success without all of you here with me today. So for those who have purchased their copies, thank you. Just like Alicia said, you're making my book number 2 as hot new book in Amazon, right, Alicia?
Yes, you got up to number 2, which is fantastic. And women in business, that's fantastic.
I know. That's super, super. Thank you for your support. And Alicia, I really feel totally beautiful inside and out, inside and out. My goodness, I'm very nervous right now. Giving and showing, me all your love, your affection. So I am humbled. I am humbled and touched. For this is such a monumental moment for me in my life, and I would like to acknowledge God first of all, my Jesus, who's always been with me, and my companion. And also, I would like to acknowledge my husband who is here with us tonight, Greg Hayes, of course, who's always by my side to support, mentor, and raise me up. And also my son, Nico. I know he's here. I saw him earlier for being my inspiration, my guide, giving me a lot of wisdom in how to become a servant leader, especially how to keep my feet on the ground. Thank you. And to my Lion at Heart team, I know you're here. And to my book acknowledgement team, and most of all, my 3 VIP guests, Alicia, who have inspired me and influenced me to become who I am today. So back to you.
Yes, yes, yes. We're going to get started with the process, the beautiful process of really releasing this book out into the world. And first thing we get to do is learn a little bit more about you, Kai, and why you wrote this book. So first, tell us a story about Kai.
Perfect. Of course, many of you guys know about my story. It never changed. So I am originally from the Philippines, youngest of the 4 siblings. I lived a life of poverty. At age 25, I summoned to take responsibility for my 2 parents and 2 grandparents. At age 33, I became a single mom only after being married for 3 years. But blessed with my one and only son, Nico, as I was looking into an uncertain future, braving the unknown, I took him into my arms, and with tears flowing down my cheeks, I whispered to him, I promise you, son, that I will do my best to make sure that you won't have to grow up with the hardships and poverty that I did. And he became my biggest inspiration to break the chain of poverty in my family. And by the grace of God, I did. I became a successful corporate executive, and through hard work and perseverance, I was blessed to own my Asian telecommunications company, which actually gave me a great lifestyle. It was in 1998. Life was good. Recession came. I was invincible. But things changed when I decided to remarry and migrate with my son in the US in 2003. I married Greg and sold my company and left my whole entire life in Manila. And in 2004, we established our Bridge of Hope ministry, helping orphans and the impoverished children in the Philippines. And in 2017, we added the priesthood mission in Diocese up to the present. Then I became a business banker at Wells Fargo Bank. And after I got bored being a stay-home mom for 5 years, I wanted to run my own show like I did before. So this is when I became a network marketer. And when I did, my life was totally transformed. I achieved leadership, personal, and spiritual growth. Thus, I am here today launching my book, Lion at Heart, hoping to inspire everyone to write your stories. So you too can be heard, you too can be seen. So I invite you to join me in this crusade. We all can leave a positive mark on earth, you guys. And when you do, please mark your freedom. For God did not create people to own people, but to raise one another for the common good, showcasing the best of our humanity. Back to you, Alicia.
Wonderful, Kai. Thank you so much for telling us a little bit about your story. Now I'm curious, and I'm sure a lot of people on the call or watching us on Facebook, curious about why did you write a book?
Perfect. I'd love to answer that. Yes, I am so proud to say that I wrote this book because I believe that a book is an opportunity to use our voice for the voiceless. I was inspired to write a book because I wanted to be the voice for the invisible. The invisible are the poor, the orphans, the old, the sick, and the underdog I was once before. And I simply want to send a message to all of you to make a decision and tell yourself, invisible no more. I know it's hard to put it in action, okay? Even myself, I struggled fighting the lies in my thoughts and then telling me that I am unqualified, inadequate to write a book because I'm not as profound as others and I didn't have a PhD nor master's degree to write a book. But God said, anyone can write a book. And so I did.
Anyone can write a book.
And when I
So I
did,
did. And
He made things happen to me. It's amazing how He put all the right people in front of me. That includes Alicia. All the financial resources I needed. And the title of the book, the chapters. He did it all. It came out in my thoughts without struggles. And funny, He cleared my thoughts to write this book while building my global business. Because normally, you guys, people who write a book must find themselves in solitude, right? They needed to spend a few months without distractions. They needed to meditate alone. But in my case, I didn't need to do that. So this book is practically a miracle. And this is a gift to all of you. Lion at Heart. Thank you.
Absolutely. Hashtag Lion at Heart. Share on social media. Share with your friends and colleagues about such a courageous, powerful book. And Kai, I just so grateful that you chose to move forward with your calling. As they say, God doesn't call the qualified, God qualifies the called. Okay. And so you went with that. You went with that and did the work. As you said, the process of writing a book takes time and energy, and you have created something that you can indeed share with the world and impact the world. So thank you so much for that, Kai. And I know you have a fantastic agenda and event planned with powerful speakers today. So with that, Kai, it's been a pleasure to interview you and see everyone. And I'm looking forward to hearing more. Take it away.
Thank you. So please stand by. I am so excited, Alicia, because I have 3 wonderful, amazing friends to honor me tonight. And they have been my mentors, my supporters, and my advisors. And the reason why they are here with me right now is because they all inspired me. They all influenced me to help me become who I am today. So I want to make them proud of their protege, of course. So I'd like to first start to introduce to you my first guest who will honor my book. Her name is Jacqueline Shepard, who is an author of the book Silent Takeover. She is also a researcher, educator, counselor, and the person that I love so dearly for her genuine heart, servant leadership, and always putting others first before her. A true lion at heart. I'd like to call on Jackie if you are there. Jackie, can you hear me?
I'm here, Kai. I'm here.
Oh my God, Jackie! Hugs. Jackie, you're gonna put me to tears. I am so honored for you to have here, to be here with me as my special guest. And oh my God, I just wanted you to provide value to our audience right now, all over the world. All my friends are watching right now here in Zoom and via Facebook. So can I ask you a question, Jackie?
Absolutely, Kai.
Jackie, on chapter 4, it's the pursuit of greatness. I wish to ask you and tell us a story of how you found courage in life and achieve greatness within. But first, I'd like you to also introduce yourself a bit, your background, and then answer my questions, how you found courage in life and achieve greatness within. Take it away, Jackie.
Well, first of all, Kai, you did it. We're here. It's June 30th. We're at the book launch. And all of these months of such effort and just pouring your heart into something, we just celebrate you. We congratulate you. And we are honored to be just a part of your success. And Alicia, we all appreciate your help. I've heard some very good words about you. For those of you who know Kai, you know she's great. And so when I heard she was writing this book, I couldn't wait to read it because I knew, number one, it was going to be inspiring. But Kai wanted me to tell you a little bit about me. I'm only going to tell you a few words. I am 77 years old and have spent the last 50 years in research as well as working mainly with young people with learning and behavior problems, as well as leading a high school of learning of high-risk teenagers, and then working with people with mental, emotional problems as well as addiction. You know, when I sort of just want to bounce back, Kai, to the way we all think as children. People often would say to all of us when we were children, they would say things like, "So what do you want to be when you grow up?" I don't know that any of us thought about saying, "I want to grow up and be great." I think that more if someone asked us a question and we said, well, I want to grow up and be a fireman, I want to grow up and be a nurse, a doctor, a teacher, that was about as far as we could get. The decision to be great probably wasn't even a part of what we were thinking. We just got out, we started trying, we started doing our best. And that best, I'm not sure you can do your best with anything unless you care about people. And that's one of the things, Kai, that we all love about you, is that you care so deeply about people. So as we are going into whatever our calls are, whatever our journey in life is, we can just be, and since I was a teacher, I'll just use that as an example. You can be a teacher, but there's a good chance your students might not remember you. But if you're a great teacher, your students will not only remember you, they will begin to apply life lessons that you have taught them. But I think that Kai, you would probably agree with me that as we get more and more involved in what we're doing, not just trying to be successful, everyone wants to be successful, but as we get more and more involved in just the beauty of life itself, even in these crisis moments that we've been living in America, there's still so much beauty in life that sometimes when we hear the term great applied, we may be surprised to hear it. We're like, well, I didn't think about myself that way. But I want to say this about chapter 4, Kai. I think it is, and by the way, I had to print it out, but my book is on the way. Ordered it today, but I think chapter 4 is just such a significant chapter because you point out several things, and I'm just going to use some of your own words. Number one, you say that even ordinary people can achieve greatness. And when I read that, I thought that's so true. We're not necessarily born great. And our lack of greatness, maybe we didn't have great parents, maybe we didn't have great this, that, or the other. It doesn't have to hold us back from becoming great. And I think another thing that you said that was so important has to deal with the fact that we come to personal crossroads where we've got to learn to make the best decisions, the wisest decisions. And those decisions, whenever they're great, whenever they're wise, whenever they're best, in my mind, always means that you are considering the other person, that you are trying to not just pull yourself up, perhaps by your own bootstraps, but bringing somebody else up too, giving them that helping hand. The other thing that I thought was so good that you said in this chapter is that we have to instill in our hearts and in our minds the things that we can do to make positive differences. People want to make a difference. We've got some people who want to make a difference. We're listening and talking about them and we're watching them. But is it positive? What we want are positive differences in people's lives. Another thing that you said was so great was that greatness involves wanting to go beyond the status quo. Anyone can achieve normal. Anyone can achieve average. But wanting to go beyond that, the desiring to do something better, and becoming so involved in doing that something better that when you look behind, you see that people are following you. A lot of times people don't realize they're leaders. They didn't even think of themselves as being leaders until they look behind, and there's a lot of people following them. And that's what's happening with you. So many people are following you, Kai. They're looking up to you. They're admiring you because you're giving them hope. You're giving them hope that a little girl from the Philippines can change the world, and that she made for herself. And I am a woman of faith, so I have to say, by being willing to follow the Lord, she's made for herself a great place. And that part of that great place is in our hearts. There's one thing I want to say that applies to all of us, and it especially applies to you, my beautiful, beautiful young friend that I love so dearly. And that's the statement that one of my high school teachers said to me. It's not original with that high school teacher, and you've probably heard it yourself. And that's the quotation: "There's always room at the top." And you have aspired to go there. You're on your way, and we applaud you, we celebrate you, and we don't believe anything's going to hold you back, Kai, from the greatness that you have already achieved, and even more greatness that lies ahead as you move further into your destiny. We love you, and we're honored to be a part of tonight.
Wonderful, Jackie. Wow. I believe that you have wowed our audience, everybody who's listening tonight. What a great words of wisdom. And I am so ever humbled for all your kind words to me, and for sharing your wisdom, for sharing great values to all of our viewers, because you're right. No matter how lowly we are, no matter how we don't have those necessary tools and resources, we can still become great if we want to be. Because there's always two choices, Jackie: to be the child of light or to be the child of darkness.
Right.
And so I am here inviting you to join my crusade. Let us become the child of light. And so, Jackie, I love you, and thank you, by the way, for staying late nights with me editing those manuscripts. I really appreciate that, and you have become so dear to me, and I love you. Please just stay put, and I will move on to our second special guest that we have today. Thank you. It's an honor for you to be here with us tonight. I am deeply humbled. Thank you. And so on to our second guest. This gentleman moved my world since day one I've met him. And why? He is a man of God. His heart will shine upon you, you guys. He's always there willing to help and support me with my endeavors. He and his wife is like a family to me and Greg. And he's our prayer warrior during our time of affliction when Greg was afflicted with stage 3 brain cancer. So allow me to bring you Dondi Nettles, an entrepreneur, a podcaster, a wellness advocate, director of everything that's wonderful. Dondi, are you there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Kai. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Hello. How are
Hello.
you?
I am blessed beyond measure. Thank you so much. It's an absolute honor to be here.
Likewise, likewise. And so I'm sure you're going to inspire our viewers today. And my question for you, Dondi, of course, after you introduce yourself briefly, is about chapter 8, which is surviving versus thriving. So why is it important to find the courage to thrive? Give us your thoughts.
This was the perfect question for you to ask me, because I really just kind of have to draw upon my own life and books like that you authored. We are all dreamers when we're children. We're encouraged to dream. We're encouraged to think as big as we can You know, for those of us who have the blessings of being raised either by wonderful parents or a wonderful family or a village of people that encourage us and to do whatever we want, we're encouraged to be dreamers. And it's actually really cute to listen to a 3-year-old say that I'm going to grow up and be president, or a 6-year-old to say that I'm going to be a firefighter, I'm going to save all kinds of people. We encourage young children to dream. But the unfortunate part about life is that if you say those kinds of things when you're getting close to graduating high school and going into college, and I want to be this and I want to be something great, your parade starts getting rained on pretty quickly, and it's no longer cute to dream. It's actually, there's something wrong. You can't do that. We start to have these limitations put on us. And I remember as a child reading books like The Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew Mysteries to just allow my mind to escape. And one of my favorite books was the Guinness Book of World Records. Every year it would come out, and I would always read about the people that are doing the best of the best, the people that have the longest fingernails or the longest mustache or rode a wheelie the longest on a motorcycle, whatever it was. And I was so inspired by that. And I've never lost the ability to dream because of people like you, Kai. Because when you write a book and you put your life story in it, you give people permission to be like you, to strive to accomplish the things that you've accomplished. And you give them hope. You give, like you said, the voice to the voiceless. They will dream about growing up and becoming someone like Kai Hayes. And thank you for that absolutely wonderful gift that your hard work and, more importantly, your life experience, because it is not, it's real. It's your story. It's not an author of something that was made up. You are living this. And as a result of that reality, you give people permission to do that. And when I look at my life and somebody who has tried to make a contribution to humanity ever since I was a little kid, and I knew that's what God created me to do, I've always been inspired by people like you, and you still inspire me, and you constantly inspire me with the things that you've done and the permission you give others to follow suit. So thank you, Kai.
Wonderful. Oh my goodness. I am holding my tears because this is truly meaningful to me, Dondi, and this is such a monumental moment for me. And all the words that you and Jackie have shared with us today, to my friends, to all of our viewers today, it's like a great takeaway for them. It is truly important for us to send the message to everyone that it is possible to thrive in this world. Thank you very much. And
can I add a couple more thoughts?
Sure. My goodness.
When we have the opportunity to thrive, but the world starts telling us we're better off just surviving, we literally clip the wings of people, or we trim the mane of people that were born lions, but they're encouraged to just stay little lion cubs. Don't ruffle feathers. Don't upset the apple cart. Just get in your place. And thank God that the many people like yourself don't listen to those voices. They ignore those voices. And I started thinking about what it means to just survive. It's the basic necessities. It's food, water, shelter. But when you thrive, you're leaving a legacy. You're leaving a mark. You're leaving footprints that are very, very large to fill, but you encourage people to come fill them. And that's what thriving is to have an impact on other people. And I'm a major fan of quotes. And one of my all-time favorites is really right in this conversation of thriving versus just surviving. And it's Mark Twain's quote. And it says, "The two most important days of your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why." Most people don't ever pursue the answer to that second day. Why are they here? And it's not just to survive. It is to thrive. It is to make a contribution. It is to change the world. And all of us were meant for that. All of us were born for that. But when we start, and the other quote I want to share is Jim Rohn. And he says that we all become the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And you can kind of predict whether you're going to survive or thrive by those 5 people. And if those people are thriving, you will naturally be thriving because you'll be encouraged, you'll be supported, you'll be invited to come follow in the footsteps like you are doing with others just by the mere writing of your book, Kai. Or people that are just surviving, if they hang around with people that are just surviving, they will follow in suit. It's just the mindset or the model. And the other, I think, is that we were all given a purpose, but so often, unfortunately, too many of us settle. We settle for less when our heart cries out for more, because we lack courage, or we lack the support group, or we lack the understanding of a book like yours, Kai. So thank you for this chapter 8 of surviving versus thriving. Thank you for writing it. Thank you for having the courage to get past your own limiting thoughts, put pen to paper, be inspired. And actually, we are all here, like Jackie said, we're here celebrating your accomplishment. Thank you so much for what you've done, Kai, for your accomplishments and impacting all of the people that are here. I see already your impact by all these magnificent people that are here to join in your celebration. Thank you for that.
And thank you very much for your great words of wisdom, for inspiring our viewers for tonight. Definitely, we are here to thrive in this world, no matter what. It's just our own belief. So start believing in yourselves, you guys, and you will conquer what you want to conquer in life. And as long as it's a positive mark that you want to leave on earth, you are in it to change people's lives. Thank you. And please stay with us. And I am going to move now to our third wonderful guest, who is also an incredible mentor, an excellent trainer, and respected by all our peers. But one thing you ought to know about this person, he has a heart of gold. He is a loving and caring person, a person that you can trust and depend on, because I love this guy so dearly, and he knows it. His name is Greg Dicker, a very successful entrepreneur and a leadership freak. So, Greg, are you there? Can you hear me?
Kai, thank you very much for the invitation to be on this tonight. I'm honored to be part of this launch, and I'm so happy for you. It's amazing. If I wanted to tell anybody a story about Kai, I have one I've told a number of people. It's very simple, and that is, when I teach, a lot of times I teach people about, I ask the question of them, who are your jumper cables connected to in life? Are they connected to someone that's draining your battery? Are they connected to someone that just excites you, energizes you, and fills your battery up to the brim when it needs to be filled up? And for me, Kai is that person that when I connect my battery cables my jumper cables to her battery, I always get energy. I always get that excitement, that beautiful smile, those wonderful eyes. I get somebody that just makes me feel better every time I talk to her. And even if she calls me with a problem, it doesn't matter. At the end of the conversation, I feel better than I did when I started. And so my advice to you is, for those of you who have not already connected your jumper cables to Kai, find out if she's got any room left and ask her, because as Gandhi had the quote about Jim Rome and the average of 5 people, you know, one day she called me and invited me into her inner circle and said, would you please be part of it? And I was honored. And so I'm thrilled to know that I've had some impact and some effect on you in the process of this journey. So thank you again very much for having me here tonight.
Wow. Thank you for your kind and lovely words. But it's actually, for me, it's the other way around. My God, you guys are my mentors. I follow your lead, and you have done such a wonderful, wonderful transformation in my life. And I am so blessed beyond measures. And so thank you for honoring my invitation to be one of my special guests tonight, Greg. You've always been dear to me. So this means so much to me. So I have a question for you, if you're ready. And this is about the chapter 11 of my book, which is, you are the author of your own life. So why don't you give us your wisdom on how important for us to create our own destiny and find greatness within?
Well, thank you, Kai. When you gave me this topic to talk about, I gave it some thought, and I really kind of thought about, your book covers well the subject of why. The bottom line is, we should all have a huge desire to write our own life, to write our own story, to create our own destiny. We should all have that. It should be something that's ingrained in you. And if it's not ingrained in you, look for that. Look for in the depths of your soul to find out where that is, and whether that's by being a God-driven individual, or whether that's being a family-driven individual, or whatever it is, find what that thing is in your soul that drives you, And that will teach you that you want to write your own life, you want to create your own destiny. I thought tonight what I would do instead is share a little bit about what I think the steps are. What are the, for lack of a better term, how do you do it? You know, what are the bullet points? What are the steps that Kai had to take in order for her to leave the Philippines, make that decision, and transform her life into a great life, and culminating at this stage, just at this stage in the launch of her book. So if you'll allow me, I'm going to take a left-hand turn here, and let's talk about how you do it, because I think that's the best value I can give to anybody tonight is how you do that. And so first thing that you've got to do, if you want to be that lion, have that lion at heart, if you want to be that person, you've got to have a champion's mindset. If you don't have a champion's mindset, it's going to be very difficult for you to accomplish anything in life. Champions do not think they are good. They know they are good. They know they are the best. They know that they're capable of accomplishing anything, that they're unbeatable. They don't think it's possible. They know it's possible. That's the kind of mindset you have to walk into it. If you're saying, well, I think I can do it, that's the wrong mindset. You've got to know that you can do it. And that's the very first step you have to take. That's why champions always use a goal as a starting point. They've got to have a goal. What am I going to do next? Her goal at 25 was to provide Nico with a better life, get out of the Philippines, come to the United States. I mean, she had all these things laid out. And the bottom line is, but she had a goal. That's how she got started with that. Remember that you're going to have obstacles to your goals. But also remember, obstacles quite often are just a test. They're a test to find out how bad do you want it. I can guarantee you, as you read the book, you're going to read about the obstacles she faced in making these monstrous changes in her life, but she worked through them. She went around them. You know, she rethought her processes. And why? Because she had a goal and she wasn't going to give up on it. So goals are not, or obstacles aren't always there to stop you. They're there to challenge you. Find out just how bad you really want it. A champion is not someone who takes small steps, then goes, oh no, I might fail, I better be careful. A champion is someone who takes big, bold steps. They're not worried about failing. Their only goal is to succeed, and they believe that every step they take is going to take them to succeed. Now, are they going to be perfect on every step? No. So what happens is when they don't get what they want, they take a step back, they reevaluate, they see what went well, what didn't go well, they adjust, and then they take another giant step forward. And that's how a champion keeps themselves moving forward when they fall short. If you think you're pretty good at something or you're okay at something, guess what? You're not a champion yet. You will be if you go to work at it, but you've got to be willing to do some of these basic things. It seems today that there's a lot of people out there in the world that think champions were overnight successes. Maybe they got it because they were lucky. Maybe they got it because they were gifted of some way or another. And what people don't understand is that isn't what makes champions. Champions all pay a price. Many of them pay a very high price that we never see. Because what you have to understand is more times than not, what we look at and think maybe of as an overnight success actually took years or decades of hard work to get there. And that's what you've got to be willing to have the mindset to push yourself through when the obstacles come. Next, you got to be all in or all out. You don't get to touch your toe in the water and dip it in and say, well, maybe. It doesn't work like that. You're all in, you're all out. There is no halfway. If you're going to do this, champions jump into the deep end. And they jump into the deep end sometimes without even thinking about it because they know they've got to be in the deep end if they're going to make it work. So champions jump in the deep end and they just start paddling and they keep going. They don't let the water slow them down. Champions start out with that goal by writing it down. A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan backed by action becomes reality. I will guarantee you Kai made a plan and she wrote it down. She said, here is when I want to leave the Philippines. Here is what I know I need to do. She made a list and said, I've got to do this before I do this, before I do this, and took it right down the line. You've got to write it down. Any kind of dream or goal that you don't write down is just that. It's a dream. It's not real. Write it down. Psychologists will tell you there's a direct connection between the handwriting and the brain and instilling things in your consciousness. Write it down. It's got to do that. The best thing you can ever do for yourself in the process is believe in you. Believe in you when no one else does. Champions always believe in themselves, no matter what the other individual says. A champion has rock solid belief in what they are capable of doing. Don't ever let someone who gave up on their dreams try to talk you out of yours. Trust me when I tell you there are people out there who are going to try to do that. I guarantee you there are people who tried to talk Kai out of coming to the United States. And she came anyway. Why? Because she had a dream, she had a goal, she knew what she wanted, and she wasn't willing to quit in the process of doing that. Sometimes people are even going to make those personal attacks. I love a quote that comes from Margaret Thatcher. She's been quoted as saying, "I always cheer up immensely if an attack is particularly personal, because I think, well, if they're attacking me personally, it means they don't have a single sound argument left." And that's usually the truth. So when they attack you personally, just let it go. Just let it go. It doesn't do you any good to respond to it. Just let it go. Shut down the drama in your life. It's incredibly important if you want to be a success. It's terribly unhealthy. Arguing and fighting creates dis-ease within the body in so many different ways. So take as much drama out of your life as you possibly can. Stay away from negative, selfish, energy-draining relationships and people that do not honor you, or even worse, use you, abuse you, and take advantage of your kindness. There's a lot of very kind people out in the world like Kai, and I'm sure there's people who've tried to take advantage of her. It happens to everyone that's like that, because we feel like we need to be helpful. We want to be helpful and kind for others. Don't let people take advantage of you. Don't attempt to change others. Let me tell you what, we got enough work to do in ourselves, myself included. We have enough work to do in ourselves. Do not worry about changing others. Number one, you can't do it. And number two, it's brutally hard on you. It will wear you out until you find out, I can't change that other individual. Develop relationships for both parties that will grow both of you. Create an atmosphere of mutual respect, love, and appreciation. Free yourself from all the bad things that other people bring into your world, and just create a world of peace for yourself, whatever you have to do that. I loved it when Dondi was mentioning Jim Rohn and the average of 5 people you spend the most time with. It's one of my favorite quotes as well, and it's something I tell people you have to pay attention to if you're going to be a success in life, if you're going to be able to write your own chapters, because you're going to have to evaluate those 5 people. And this will be the best advice I give you all night. Evaluate the 5 people you spend the most time with right now and decide who is helping you get to your destiny, who is helping you get to your dream, and who is not. The ones that aren't, dump them from your circle of 5 and go find somebody else that is. Create a circle of friends around you, a circle of people that will lift you up, a circle of people that want for you what you want, not want for you what they want for you, but what you want, they want it for you, and they're going to lift you up and they're going to help you get to that. Trust me when I tell you this, if you dump those people that aren't supporting you, you'll thank me later for that. Invest in yourself. Your self-worth can only grow as much as you feed your self-worth. So whether it's books, it's videos, it's live training, whatever it is, invest in yourself to make you a better person. Remember to never sacrifice your personal class to get even with someone who has treated you badly or has no class. Let them have the gutter. You take the high road at all times. Because at the end of the day, stats don't matter. Grit matters, desire matters, and vision matters. Have a vision for your future that is so big of a vision that you get uncomfortable telling small-minded people about it. Because you know you can tell them, but you can't understand it for them. And they probably can't understand it for themselves. But have that huge vision. You've got to have a monster vision for yourself in order for you to carry your dreams forward. You're going to have a very limited vision from your couch. Get off the couch. Act boldly, act courageously, and never quit. Remember, it's results over time, not overnight. You likely already know what it feels like to give up. We've all done it at some time or another in our life for one reason or another. How about we find out what it feels like not to give up? How about we find out what it feels like to just never quit? Trust me when I tell you the feeling is a whole nother game. You want what you've never had? Then create your own destiny with a written plan, determination, guts, bold action. Invest in yourself, take the high road, have grit, have a huge vision, and get off the damn couch. You want what you've never had? Do what you've never done. No one who ever gave their best regretted it later. Kai has given her best to this book to date, and this is just the start of where she's headed. My dear, thank you very much. You've honored me by having me here today. I appreciate you so much. God bless you.
Wow, Greg, that was a powerful, powerful mentorship, and I am not surprised. You guys, we have just been blessed. I know that with my 3 super special VIP guests, God is with us. They were handpicked because God guided me to pick them so that they can share with you their knowledge. And this is why it is true. You are the product of the 5 people that you associate with. And these are only 3 of the people that is mentoring me. So like Greg said, what are you championing? You must be championing a certain cause, and it's got to be non-negotiable, because in life, you've got to be all in, because there's nothing in between. Well, it's an honor, Greg, to actually be here with me right now in my best moment. This is a monumental moment for me, and what a great, incredible guest that I have right now with you, Dondi, Jackie, to really add value in my Lion at Heart book. And so I would like to leave these words to all the viewers, that if you truly want to be successful, whether in life or in business, you need to get rid of these 3 words in your vocabularies. Number 1, obstacles. Number 2, excuses. Number 3, detractors. How and why? Number 1, obstacles. In every obstacle in life, there is a solution. Find the solution. When it's fixed, get over it and move on. Then plug back into your mission and vision, and then relaunch your life or your business, but stay laser focused. That's what I did in my life. Then next, excuses. Stop being lazy. Stop procrastinating. You are hurting no one but yourself. Make a choice. Make a decision. And once you do, 100% consistent execution or action is needed. Third, detractors. Everybody knows that you can't please everyone, right? That is a given. Some people will do everything to find something wrong with you. So you only get hurt when you allow people to hurt you. Make them invisible in your life. Go past them, away from them. If you pay attention and listen to their lies, it will weaken you and you will fail. Why make them win? So that is my parting words for you guys. And I just wanted to share with you that if ever you wish to support the sale of my book, 10% of the proceeds will be allocated to St. Rita Orphanage, Manila, Philippines, and Priesthood Mission of Diocese of Tanzania. And I want you to share this with your friends, because I believe that I have poured out my heart in this book. I have bared it all, and you will see how I flourished in life with little to no resources. And guys, it only takes one to create a movement. Take the lead. Let it begin with you. Like I said, find a good reason to fight for something. Champion your cause. If I can do it, you too can. So I am wrapping up the party, and I am thanking everyone for you guys who are here right now. You are all important and special to me, and I will give this back to my amazing co-host, Alicia Dunhams, if you're still there. So back to you, and we'll wrap this up. I love you guys, and thank you very much for everything. We are going to see each other on July 11th for my post VIP party, and I'd like to cheers everyone. I would like to ask you to hold your glasses And cheers, everyone, before I give this back to Alicia to say goodbye. And I love you all. This is an amazing celebration. Happy Lion at Heart, please. We are number 2 right now in Amazon. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. And thank
Unmute yourself. Say cheers.
Here's my-
Cheers.
Cheers.
Sky.
Thank you.
Love you.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody.
Guys, thank you very much, Jackie, Dondi, Greg, and thank you very much, all my wonderful, lovely people, and Alicia. Thank you for co-hosting with me.
Thank you.
It's a
Kai.
pleasure.
Awesome, Greg.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Dear Lion
Woo!
Heart.
We love you, Kai.
everybody.
Heading to
Buy some more books.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Kai.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I couldn't be so
Guys.
successful without you guys. I owe it to you. I love you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll see you and happy reading. Happy reading.
Love you.
Thank you. I love you.
Number
I love
one
you all
son.
from my heart. Woo!
Lots of love, Kai.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dondi. Thank you, Mr. Greg.
Dr. Dondi.
Thank you all. Bye-bye. Ciao.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
We love your messages.